Born in the fighting city of Philadelphia on November 3rd, 1925, George Eiferman is a bona fide, old-school bodybuilding legend. Before he made his mark in competitive bodybuilding, Eiferman, like many of the greatest generation, served in the Navy during World War II. While serving, he started lifting and often worked out with his ship's boxing champion, Joe Sepko. Already cultivating the inspiring personality that so many would eventually come to know, Eiferman encouraged his fellow sailors to hit the weights alongside him. This was in part driven by his concern for their meek stature, which left many Navy men unable to pull themselves into a rescue boat. Successful in this venture, George recruited around 200 newbies to the gym life. Upon coming home from the war, now with 40 more pounds of muscle, Eiferman got serious with his training at Fritzy's Gym in Philly and won the Mr. Philadelphia title in 1947. But, like many great performers, he heard the call of the West and headed out to California. At a time when bodybuilding was relegated to so-called freaks and marginal types, Muscle Beach in California was already emerging as a gathering place for those bulky kindred spirits. But, when you're following your dreams, you sometimes hit road bumps. George sure did. Initially strapped for cash, he tried working as a model for artists, but youthful inhibitions prevented him from disrobing in front of a large art class. Fortunately, he found refuge at Vic Tanny's gym. In a metaphor that resonates with a lot of folks, the gym was a lighthouse pointing the way. And George found his way, winning the Mr. Pacific Coast contest in April of 1948. And later that year, he won the Mr. America title. At that time, he weighed 198 pounds, with 18-inch guns and a 48-inch chest. Although he was an established bodybuilding star, the sport didn't seem to offer George a sustainable career path. After considering pro wrestling, Eiferman got a gig with the National School Assemblies of America to regularly speak to crowded gyms packed with adolescent kids frantically searching for direction. To capture the attention of his young audience, George started his show by lifting the heaviest kid in attendance with a harness attached to his teeth. From there, he had their undivided attention, and he positively influenced a lot of lives with the message of the importance of regular exercise and a healthy diet. Some may know that Eiferman is immortalized as the model for George of the Jungle. The character was created by the cook on Eiferman's old Navy minesweeping ship, and he served as the inspiration. However, George's most significant impact is the impact he left on so many young people. Outside of the school gymnasium, George found the attention of an older, albeit maybe not more mature audience during the 1950s while working as one of the original 8-muscle male dancers in Mae West's show in the Congo Room of the Sahara Hotel in Vegas. Offstage, George, who was 29 at the time, and West, who was 60 at the time, shared what some call a May-December romance. That is, a romance with a younger man and an older woman. In fact, you could argue that the proportioned, muscular look, so popular among male revues from Chippendales to Thunder Down Under, is a product of the union between West and Eiferman. Never one to rest on his laurels, Eiferman returned to bodybuilding at 36 years old and won the Mr. Universe title. To prepare for this show, his primary tool was 6 sets of 15 parallel squats, which he did every day. With his squats and hack squats, he would switch between different heel and toe placements constantly and would fluctuate his reps to either build bulk or shape the muscles. In his prime, George's 5'6" frame was filled out in a well-proportioned 220 pounds. However, he was probably best known for his chest, with his twin slabs of gym-hardened muscle. This is because George knew that the larger your rib cage, the more muscle you could pack on top of it. To develop his rib cage, he used breathing squats, which we covered in a previous Jailhouse Strong video, and pullovers. His delt training was ahead of its time. Well over 50 years ago, George advocated hitting the delts from all directions, that is lateral, frontal, and rear. He also promoted strong forearms, which he sometimes hit as part of a tricep by doing wrist curls between his biceps and triceps exercises. For George, training his back wasn't just for aesthetics. It had a hashtag gas station ready type functionality to it. As he explained it, quote, "You never know what's going to happen to you, so you want to have good pulling strength," end quote. Like many of the greats from bodybuilding's golden age, Eiferman trained his entire body 3 times a week, although before a contest, he would train 5 times a week for 2 or 3 weeks. Here's a sample program that we found, working the entire body, which Eiferman used back during his competitive days. You're going to do hack squats, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps, bench press, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps, varying between narrow, regular, and wide grips. Bent arm flies, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Standing side lateral raise, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Alternate dumbbell press, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Cheating one-arm rowing, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Cheating barbell curl, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Dumbbell concentration curl, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Dumbbell wrist curl, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. Side bends, 3 sets, 7 to 10 reps. And sit-ups, just the body weight, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. George would often rest around 2 minutes between sets and focus on peak contraction. This is when you mindfully focus on contracting the muscles at the peak of the movement. The cheating principle mentioned above was used to work with more weight through a body swing as a means to stimulate more muscle growth. Throughout his life, Eiferman owned many gyms, not health clubs. From his perspective, a health club is where you go looking for a date. A gym is where you go to work out. As a gym owner and trainer, he advocated switching rep schemes and playing with a number of squats. But before going full science class with your workout, George gave the following advice. Do not experiment with either sets or repetitions until the normal 3 sets of 10 reps in each exercise fail to give you results. For more of these old stories, this history of physical culture, click subscribe.